And the janaza in absentia, the first of all is Maulana Abdul Karim Sharma, who a few weeks back he has passed away. In 1918, on 26th of May, he was born in Qadian. Sheikh Abdul Rahim Sahib, his father, Razillah Ta'ala Anhu, he was companion of the promised Messiah, and he accepted Islam from Hinduism. His name was Kishan Lal, and he accepted at the hand of the promised Messiah ﷺ. His mother, Hazrat Aisha Begum Sahiba, who was taken care of by Hazrat Ummul Mumineen Razillah Ta'ala Anha, and his mother, and she was the wet mother of Muslim Maud's children and Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad Sahib's, and his grandmother was also blessed with the acceptance of Ahmadiyyat along with his father. Maulvi Abdul Karim Sharma, his grandfather, was a Sahabi of the companion of the promised Messiah, and similarly Sultan Bibi Sahiba was also the related to Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad Sahib, and Sheikh Muzaffar and Sheikh Mubarak, they got the distinction of being martyred in Pakistan. Sharma Sahib, he got the Sharma Sahib basic education in Qadian, and then he got admission to Jamia Ahmadiyya. He also had the honor of serving in Al-Fazl. In 1939, Hazrat Muslim Maud Abdul Karim Sharma was included among those people who gave the duty of guarding the Lawaya Ahmadiyyat, the flag, and he dedicated his life. And for 3-4 years he was serving in British Army, and after that, immediately after the Second World War, Hazrat Muslim Maud instructed him to come to Qadian, and then he started preparing for going to Africa. In January 48, along with the 5 other missionaries, he went to East Africa, and in total he spent there 29 years in service of. In 1961, when the country was divided into 3 countries, he was Amir and missionary in charge of Uganda. So therefore he had the opportunity of serving in this capacity twice. In 1968 he was in UK, and 10 years he was member of National Majlis Amla, Secretary Talim and Tarbiyat, and Secretary Istanata. He served in this capacity. At the occasion of Satsala Jubilee, he was member of that committee. He was also member of Majlis Intikhabi Khilafat, the Electoral College for Khilafat. In his autobiography, he writes that this is such incident which shows the dedication of his father, and also the sentiments of his father, and the respect for that is mentioned in that. He says that I was in the 4th or 5th class in Jamia Ahmadiyya, that for some reason, so I was feeling uneasy there, and I wanted to get admission in school. At that time, 2 of my Maulvi Muhammad Ibrahim Sabakapuri's sons, who were my class fellows, they went to school. So I also wanted to go to school, and I mentioned this to my father, but he did not pay any attention to that. And one day I was sitting in the kitchen, and I insisted on that you have admitted the other 2 brothers into school, but why do you send me to Madrasa Ahmadiyya? The father said that I have become Muslim from Hindus, and this is the grace of Allah Almighty that He gave me the blessing of Islam. But I am very sad that I could not do any service to Islam. So it is my desire that my son should be serving Islam. So that is why I have got you admitted in Madrasa Ahmadiyya, that you should be able to serve the service of Islam. And now you say that you don't want to, you want to become in Madrasa Ahmadiyya. And he became very emotional and started praying, and he started crying in the prayer. So he says that the way he mentioned, my father mentioned it, and the situation, the sentiments and emotions, they very much impressed me, and I could not sleep during the night. I prayed for my father. So in the morning I decided that I should continue teaching, get my education in Madrasa Ahmadiyya and would dedicate the life. So when Hazrat Muslim Maud launched this appeal, so I immediately wrote a letter to him, and I requested Huzoor to kindly accept my dedication. So in this way he fulfilled the desire of his father, and also he had this zeal of serving the Jama'at. Regarding some missionaries, Khilafat Masih Salis mentioned, he had mentioned that some of our missionaries, in that his name was also there, those who were sitting in the mosque. There are certain mosques, and he said that those people who are walking in the streets of Rabwah, people do not consider him something. But these are the people that when they go into those countries where they have been serving, then the presidents and the ministers, they meet them, and they are invited to very big functions, and they are shown all the respect and honor. There is a letter which he wrote a letter to one of his friends in Kenya. He says that when he came back, then he wrote a letter that I have spent in West Africa for 20 years. I always considered myself incompetent for service. At 2 o'clock at night, I used to get up, and considering my weaknesses and shortcomings, I used to cry and used to help for the supplication and I used to supplicate for the help of Allah Almighty, and according to that I used to plan that. So all the missionaries, they should try to mold their thinking according to that, so that they should have the desire to serve, and they should also have the pray like this, and Allah Almighty enable all the missionaries to fulfill their covenant of dedication and to serve, and also exalt the status of Maulana Sharma Sahib. And in Qadian, when there was disturbance there at the time of the partition, his father and brother was there. So he wrote to his brother and wrote to his father that you are very fortunate that you are there, and I also wish that the same, but the conditions are such that nobody knows when the people are going to come back. But to get martyred for the sake of religion is a great honor, and I wish that I would have been there. I would have got this. So now you are there, so don't be frightened. So because this life is something which comes and goes, so Allah Almighty enable you to protect the center of the Jama'at. So these were the feelings. Anyway, he was very pious and dedicated a person, and when he was able, he used to come to see me. When he was able to walk, when he was unable to walk, then he used to come on the wheelchair, and because normally he used to offer in the Masjid Fazl, and I was here. So when I used to come out of my car, then I could see him sitting in the wheelchair. As long as he could come, he was coming, and he was very and this love and dedication, that was quite visible from his eyes, and I used to exchange greeting with him. And his grandson has also mentioned that he was closely attached to Khilafat, institution of Khilafat. This grandson of him is a dedicator of life, and he is a missionary in Sweden. Allah Almighty enable him to follow in the footsteps of his grandfather.